Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from the Palatial Studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
And a top of the morning to you on this Tuesday, July the 13th, 2021.
I don't know whether to punch you or kiss you.
All right, you can come over here and give me a smooch on the cheek.
You belong in a tree. You're a nut.
I'm not a nut. I don't belong in any tree.
Oh, come on now. This is just getting silly.
All right, well, we can get as silly as we want. It's only Tuesday. It's not Friday. 6:07 is the time. Mr. Clock, would you certify that, please?
It's now 6:07 a.m.
That's right. 6:07 a.m. as the crow flies, and we say top of the morning to you, Bonnie.
Now, good morning to you, Evan. Top of the morning to you also.
Yeah, if you hear some funny noises over here this morning, just excuse them. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Are there some mice hanging out in your pocket or something that
no,
they're going to go
a,
beep, 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 beep,
there's a gremlin here.
What kind of a gremlin? Like a scary
right,
one?
It's right here in my stomach.
Oh, see, it isn't so.
Yeah, there's a gremlin in my stomach this morning.
You carry a gremlin, you see, and I sometimes carry a little baby sea otter.
Yeah.
That's when my stomach starts growling.
So, yeah, if you hear some funky noises this morning as we're broadcasting, just ignore them. There's nothing strange going on over here. It's just I have a little bit of an upset stomach this morning.
I am sorry to hear
that.
I
have my thing of Rolaids over there. I stopped and got on the way in this morning at Wawa.
You know what works for me is the good old-fashioned plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
Oh, I can't take that stuff. It'll make me puke.
Usually when I have heartburn, it seems like I have a headache to go along with it. And when I do the Alka-Seltzer and the plop, plop, fizz, fizz in the jar, it really just kind of gets rid of my heartburn and everything instantly. Yeah, I swear by it.
We bought some wings last night at Publix, already cooked. They call them naked wings, so they didn't have any breading on them. So it got them home, and they were very delicious. And the after effect is what's really, I'm feeling it now. So and there my stomach just went. I don't know if you heard that.
Were they like hot wings?
No, they
to
were
make your stomach burn?
No, they were just regular wings. They weren't cooked in sauce, just plain, just dropped them in the fryer and bought them. They were fresh. They just put them out, got them home, had a little bit of macaroni salad with them, and then went to bed about 2 hours later, and then got up at 4 a.m. and I forgot to take a Rolade before I left the house. So as I'm driving here, I'm like, oh man, I feel like garbage.
Did you make it here on time before you had to let the garbage out?
Well, yeah, the garbage got definitely let out. That's all we're going to say. I made sure that, let's just say, got business done. But now it's sitting right here. It's just sitting right here.
Remember when it happened to me 2 weeks ago and I was caught on the turnpike coming home at 9:30 at night.
Worst.
And, I took that, what did I drink? Monster? No, it was that Bang drink that Phil brings in.
A Bang and an aspirin is what you did.
And some aspirin to get rid of my headache later at night. And I'm working massage and it's about 8:30 or 8 o'clock. And I'm thinking I'm set to rock and roll here for the next 2 hours. Well, the rock and roll took me all of a sudden I got that stomach ache and I decide I want to get home more fast. So I get on the turnpike and then there's a huge backup on the turnpike because the Port St. Lucie exit was the only exit open where they were blocking off traffic. You couldn't go up to Fort Pierce. You had to do a detour. So everybody was taking that, 142 Fort St. Lucie?
Yeah.
And highway backup. And I'm sick.
And you're sitting there, you're like tightening up everything, like, oh God, please just don't. And I mean, you're hearing stuff like, and more of, and then another, and then you're just keep going and going. And believe me, I was like that this morning. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, it just was not good this morning. I feel like garbage.
Yeah, well, at least the highways, aren't too busy this early this morning.
Yeah, but there's nothing open this early if you need to pull over and go in somewhere.
Oh, that's
the problem. What am I going to do? Find an apartment complex and just knock on some stranger's door and say, "Can I use your bathroom, please?"
I've thought of that before.
You've done that before?
No, I've thought of that before. On my early morning runs, and you got to go, and there's like a lot of doors you could knock on, but I've never tried it.
It's now just the heartburn is what's just you notice I didn't eat my yogurt this morning. I brought my yogurt with me.
Well, the
in my
yogurt
breakfast,
might
but
help your stomach there.
well,
Evan.
it's got a milk base to it. See, that's the problem. When you have an upset stomach, you don't want to put something that can sour in your stomach. So I'm just going to I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to let I've got a tube of Rolaids over there. So I'm just going to, eat my Rolaids this morning it feels a little better, but not where I really want to be right now.
Oh boy.
So, yeah.
As the morning progresses, it'll get better. Unfortunately, I don't have anything in my purse to give.
There's nothing to give. It's got to let nature take its course.
We got to
you know how that
we got to go with
works.
swords and get that gremlin out of there.
Yeah.
I'll go inside your stomach and start fighting with my swords.
You can
like a
go
little
and
demon.
fight all you want. You may not make it out. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's not pretty right now.
What did you brush your teeth with this morning?
Me?
Yeah.
Toothpaste. Why?
Because there's this girl on TikTok, and apparently she's cleaning her teeth with magic erasers.
Oh, I saw that.
Which you're not supposed to do, I guess. I can really. Dentists say it's kind of like a fine granuled sandpaper, and she thinks she's getting her teeth all nice and clean, but really it's wearing down the enamel.
Yeah, I saw that.
So not too good.
That's stupidity. I'm sorry. That's just being downright stupid.
Well, they're
Why
magic
brush your teeth
erasers.
with a magic eraser.
They're pretty magic, but I think they're only used for. I like to clean make my baseboards white with that at home. In fact, I got to do that.
There's dozens of uses that you
Yeah.
can use with a magic eraser.
I love magic erasers.
So
man.
yesterday, I'm driving a rental vehicle because of what happened to my vehicle.
I know.
And we're going to talk about that later on this morning. We're going to have a very special guest in studio. Major John Budenseek is going to be here, and he's actually going to be in studio, and we're going to be talking about auto thefts and vandalism this morning and my firsthand experience that happened last Friday. We'll be talking about that a little bit later on, but I forgot what I was going to.
Because some damage was done.
Yeah,
and
but I
that's
forgot
a
what
really
I was going to
bad
say.
thing.
It was about a magic eraser, and I can't remember what I was going to say.
I gotta. Maybe I'll stop at Big Lots on the way home and buy some.
There's a million uses for magic erasers. There really is. I mean, you can use them for anything. You can clean sneakers. You can clean, like you said, your baseboards.
Yeah.
You can clean the kitchen sink, the bathroom. There's so many different things, but the person that invented it is a genius.
I think so.
That's all I got to say.
I seem to think so, and I get the ones with Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean's head on them.
Oh, you get those? You don't buy the generic ones?
No, I like Mr. Clean because I know it's a forceful brand name. and
do you know that I did a test?
Yeah,
I did a test with two magic erasers, and I asked somebody to actually. I gave them a Mr. Clean in the left hand, and I gave them a Walmart brand in the right hand, a Great Value as they call it. I didn't tell them which one was which. And I said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to test each one out and tell me which one you like better or if they're the same. So they tested them out and they came back to me and they said, we can't tell the difference.
You couldn't tell the difference anyway.
Nope, they couldn't tell the difference. And see, that's where it's all kind of like the stores and the companies, they get you, because sometimes, in your mind, you think that, oh, okay, it's a brand name. It's going to be better than the generic version.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like you go get a prescription, they have the brand name or the generic version.
Yeah.
So they use the magic erasers and they could not tell the difference.
You can't tell the difference anyway.
No, it's like when I go to the store and I buy like canned carrots, for instance, I'll buy carrots in the can. Now you have Del Monte and then you'll have Great Value. And I bought one of each. I wanted to see if there was any taste difference. Tasted the Del Monte, tasted the Walmart brand, and I could not tell the difference.
It makes me wonder if there's a difference. See, I like the linen fresh scent of the aerosol, the air freshener.
Okay.
And when I do that, I'd like to buy just crossed my mind. The name brand of the linen fresh scent is Lysol.
Oh, okay.
So I like when it
Oh,
says
I know what exactly what you're
Lysol on
talking
the
about.
can.
During when the pandemic was at its like highest, those cans were hot commodities.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a whole closet full, by the way.
And it's still kind of hard to find
Mhm.
Lysol.
They're all over the place. It's
lately-
everywhere.
But lately, I've just been seeing
Do you
the
need some? I've got tons.
great value ones, which I'll buy. But I don't
Mhm.
know if there's a difference between Lysol and the non-brand name.
Does the same
Probably
thing.
not.
Does the same exact thing. All you're doing is it's just a name brand. If you look at the ingredients on the can,
Same
the
thing.
ingredients are the same. You're paying more for the word Lysol and less for the word great value.
It is psychological then.
Because
So, like, if I
that's how they get you.
bought,
I'm not saying you're nuts. Don't get me wrong.
No,
Okay.
but like, say if I bought soda pop for
Right.
for the kids,
You got
RC is a little bit. RC Cola is a little
RC.
maybe less expensive than
Mhm.
the Coca-Cola.
It does taste different. I will say that much. Now that's something where I won't buy the generic. I like Coke. I will only drink a Coke product. I will not buy the Walmart brand or the Winn-Dixie brand. Winn-Dixie is Chex.
because you can tell a difference with
Oh, it's a
that.
huge difference. If you were to pour a
Uh-huh.
can of Chex soda
Mhm.
into one glass and a can of Coke into another glass and taste it,
Yeah.
huge difference.
You see, I
night
don't
and
drink
day.
enough soda to know
Yeah,
that. But
huge difference.
okay, but
Huge difference.
but the ingredients should be kind of the same in the bottles of pop. No.
Well, some of the ingredients are the same, but it's the flavoring, the flavoring that's added, and the way Coke has ingredients they put in their pop that Winn-Dixie, the generic brand, they don't have access to those ingredients.
So
That's why Coke gets that taste.
So it would make a difference if I, with the soda drinkers in our
Yeah.
house, if I brought home the off-brand name, they probably wouldn't like it.
Well, that's just like if you take a can of Pepsi and put it in one glass, a can of Coke in another glass, put them side by side, and then ask somebody which is which, or can you tell the difference? They're gonna tell you the difference.
I can
because
tell.
Pepsi has the taste and Coke has a different
Pepsi
taste.
to me is more tangy,
Mhm.
where Coke has the more deeper
Mhm.
flavor, if that
Mhm.
makes any sense. So
Mhm.
I think if I did a taste test with Coke and Pepsi, I would be able to tell the difference.
So that'd be something to do with when Phil comes in, we can do a taste test and bring a can of Coke and a can of Pepsi and pour it in the other room so he doesn't see, and then we'll know which it is, and we put it in front of him, and then he can guess which one is which.
That's cool. And you can bring in those carrots too and see if you can tell which one's Del Monte and which is generic.
There's lots of different things.
We could. Yeah.
There's cleaning supplies. There's, for instance, here's another one. Chicken, boneless, skinless chicken breast. Okay, that's another big one.
Right away you think of Tyson, right?
Right. You have Tyson, Purdue, and then you have the Walmart brand. Now the Walmart brand is $1.99, $1.89 a pound. If you buy the Purdue, it's like $4 and change a pound.
Is there a Bravo brand too?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I wonder.
I don't know. I don't know.
I've been to Bravo before, and they have some really cheap.
Yeah.
They had I stocked up on chicken one time when I went in there.
So I bought a thing of regular, the Walmart brand for $1.99 a pound, and then I bought a package of the other, which is $4.89 a pound. Took them out, put them side by side, analyzed them. Couldn't tell the difference. I cooked them up, served them, tasted them. Could not tell the difference.
Mhm.
A chicken breast is a chicken breast, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. And
It's the same thing.
I feel that way about with my sinus allergy medicine too,
Mhm.
with my antihistamine.
Mhm. What brand do you use?
Well, one would think Benadryl right
Right.
away, but
Right.
I buy the
They have a
Off-brand.
Walgreens brand.
I
I
buy
think it's
that
called
one.
Waldrill, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, that's what
or
I
something
buy.
like that. And you know what? It does the same thing as Benadryl.
And you save $2 or $3.
Exactly. Same ingredients. Everything's the same, except it's just processed by Walgreens.
Mhm.
Same thing with the cough medicine.
I notice how they kind of market them the same, though, too. I'm pretty sure the wall drill I'll find in a white and pink box, just like the Benadryl.
They're very identical. They're very, very identical.
Yeah.
Just like Pepto-Bismol. That's another one. You got the Pepto-Bismol brand, and then you have the CVS or the Walgreens brand. All the same ingredients.
You need some Pepto-Bismol, don't you?
Oh, no, that I can't. Oh, no.
I mean, that might soothe.
Oh, no.
Isn't it supposed to soothe and coat your stomach?
Oh, no.
That
That's
nice
like
pink going down?
That's puke city for me.
Is it?
Yeah, that will make me, you'll have a mess all over this.
It reminds me of bubble gum, like the taste of bubble gum.
It does. It tastes like bubble gum, but I cannot stomach that stuff. I had a bad experience. That's why I'm just.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I'm afraid to take it. It is 6:22. Boy, the strange things we talk about this morning to get you going. Sorry about that, folks. It's time for news, all brought to you by Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield, helping families take control of their health for more than 75 years. Bonnie's hanging out at the news desk with the headlines.
Well, good morning. Nearly 24 people have now been arrested in connection with the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse last week. Investigators said one of the masterminds behind the attack is a Haitian doctor living in South Florida. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has more.
On the ground in Haiti, cars are on fire, and there's more unrest days after President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated inside his home. Investigators say the killers posed as DEA agents, and at least 29 people were involved, including 18 Colombians and 3 Haitian Americans with ties to Florida. 63-year-old Christian Emmanuel Sanin is accused of being one of the ringleaders. Haiti's police chief says Sanin flew to Haiti in June on a private plane with political objectives. The chief says he was working with a private firm to recruit Colombian mercenaries, and Sanin was the first person the attackers called after the president was shot last week. Investigators also say 35-year-old James Salages and 55-year-old Joseph Vincent, both from South Florida, have also been arrested. A Haitian judge involved in the investigation says the 2 Haitian Americans worked only as translators and were not in the room when Moïse was assassinated.
He never get in trouble with nobody. He's a good guy.
Salage's relative surprised by his alleged involvement. According to the Palm Beach Post, Salages worked for the Carlisle Palm Beach, spending 2 years as the plant operations director for the assisted living facility in Lantana before resigning this past spring. Tonight, FBI and Homeland Security officials are in Haiti helping investigate. The police chief says officers also found a hat with the DEA logo on it, gun parts, and bullets inside Sanin's home. The president's wife, who was also shot in the attack, is still hospitalized in Miami. Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
City leaders in Port St. Lucie are pleading with Waste Pro, the city's garbage service, to find a solution to long-standing trash in residential areas. WPTV's Derek Lowe has the story.
A lack of workers is translating to more trash not picked up.
Right now, we just don't have enough drivers.
In Port St. Lucie, city leaders are now calling for a special meeting with Waste Pro to address the pile of more than 7,000 complaints from residents.
We have our contract, and people expect for what they're paying to have the garbage picked up.
When it comes to garbage, though, the problems are not entirely new. Waste Pro Senior Vice President Keith Bonanziak says for the last 5 months, his company has employed 6 subcontractor trucks to help service the city. Still, though, the problem remains.
We have actually had to take drivers and couple them up as a team because you can't send one truck out without a helper on the back.
Bonanziak says his company has hired a full-time recruiter to help combat the shortage, along with sign-on and retention bonuses for employees. City leaders say it could be months before the service returns to normal.
I need something tangible. I need a plan. I need an ordinance. I need something tangible.
In Port St. Lucie, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Should school buses be brought back to Indiantown? Years after the school district shuttered the Indiantown bus depot, concerns about student safety and security are compelling some district leaders to question if it should be reinstated. Advocates for housing buses in Indiantown, including village council members who penned a letter to the school board supporting the move, argue it's a public safety matter and in the event of an emergency could mean the difference between lives saved or lost. Keeping buses in Indiantown would allow bus drivers who live there to help evacuate students and staff at a moment's notice in the event of a natural disaster. Currently, the closest bus depot is in Stuart, more than 20 miles and at least a 30-minute drive away. The issue is expected to play out at Tuesday's school board meeting, a handful of years after the district shut down the depot and moved all buses to the district's Stuart location. A suspected peeping Tom turned himself in Monday to Port St. Lucie police. The incident happened on March 5 at a Publix supermarket located in the Rivergate Plaza shopping center. Detectives said Tyler Petticord, age 20, allegedly entered the woman's bathroom around 7 p.m. and was spotted recording video or taking a photo of a female customer from an adjacent stall. Well, lastly, a cop in Georgia recently lost his wedding ring while swimming at a state park in Florida and left without finding it, but a 10-year-old girl spotted the ring while she was swimming later on. Her mom posted a photo of the ring on Facebook, and another cop who works with the guy happened to see it, so he got it back, and then the police department gave the girl an award for her honesty. A home run derby first round showdown ended with Washington National star Juan Soto outlasting Los Angeles Angels two-way sensation Shohei Ohtani in double overtime on Monday night. Soto and Ohtani were tied with 22 home runs each after the first round, then hit 6 more apiece in the first overtime, which lasted a minute. Per home run derby rules, the two players were given 3 more swings apiece in a sudden death showdown. Soto hit home runs on all 3 of his swings, while Ohtani hit a line drive to right field on his first swing, ending the contest. The final tally was 31 home runs to 28. Our news time 6:28. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
.629 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's the Tuesday morning edition. It's time for traffic and weather together.
Not finding any accidents here at the moment for Stuart and the Port St. Lucie area. This including our major highways throughout this morning. If you see something, say something. You can tell us about it. Call us at 220-9788, 220-WSTU. We have a few sprinkles here in the Stuart area, 79. In Germantown, Maryland, it's 72. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday. Today's forecast. Another active day out there with scattered numerous showers and thunderstorms, some heavy rainfall potential, but the severe aspect is being toned down as that upper low pulls to the north. On Wednesday, morning showers or storms, then clearing with less rain chances going into the end of the week. High temperatures stay into the upper 80s, lows into the upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist James Wheeland on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
It is 6:34 on the Get Up and Go show. It's the Tuesday morning edition with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for viral videos. So, Bonnie, when you were a teenage girl, okay, and you were starting to wear two-piece bathing suits, did your parents ever say to you, you can't wear that, or did they pick out your swimsuit for you?
No, my parents never did that to me.
Okay.
I was able to wear the two-piece swimsuits when I was a teenager. I think
Okay.
my dad had more of a problem if I was wearing makeup or maybe, too much goo on my eyes.
Okay.
The makeup.
Well, there's a teenage girl that posted a video on TikTok, and it's a video of her dad wanting her to wear an 1890s bathing suit.
1890s.
1890s. So the girl obliged her dad, and she put on the 1890s bathing suit.
This is
And
incredible. I want to
listen.
see this.
All right, so I got you a father-approved bathing suit.
Father approved.
You can put it on and then come downstairs.
Watch. Look, there it is. That's it.
Put your head on now. That's part of the bathing suit.
There you go.
That's it right there. And she
It's
just
awesome. It's
flings the
perfect
hat
coverage and everything.
at her dad. The little kid says she looks like Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, yeah, that swimsuit looks more like a dress that she's wearing.
Yeah.
Some kind of like a dress.
Well, there were knickers that went with it also.
Oh, yeah.
There
that
was
really
knickers.
covered up, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
there were knickers as well that went down to almost to her ankles.
There was no chance of seeing any
no skin.
sign of your hinder.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing on the backside, nothing on the front side.
Right.
No boobage, no nothing.
Yeah.
So
There's some people, like there's some religions too where the girls and the boys, when they go swimming, they can't dress that scantily.
a lot of women have to have the headdress on when they're out in public. I forget what religion that is. I don't recall which one it is, but a lot of women are they have to have a headdress on, and only their eyes can be exposed. All the rest of their
Yeah.
body parts have to be. Oh God, they weren't my stomach again. Have to be covered.
Yeah.
So
And I've seen it too, like even when we were at the resort area, like there would be there's tasteful and then there's not tasteful
Right,
when it comes to swimwear. And there were a few young girls that maybe were wearing it to me like maybe not too tastefully.
Right.
I mean, who am I to judge? But I
No,
could see
I
where
agree with you.
I could see where some dads might not want to send their teenage daughters outside.
I agree with
in
you.
the
I agree
attire.
with you 150%. There is a musician who recorded his cat's melodic warbling as it lapped up milk, and then the musician turned it into a song.
We're seeing a lot of these crazy cat people lately,
Right.
aren't we? With
So-
turning cat sounds into music.
Listen to this. Incredible. This guy is a genius. That's a real cat making that noise.
Yeah, while drinking its milk.
Yes. Yes.
I wish I could do that with my cat and make a song with it with my kitties at home, but I'm not sure I'm that musically inclined.
That
talented.
was incredible.
Yeah. It kind of made us want to get up and start dancing around
Yeah.
here, doing the
I'm
cha-cha
kinda
or
like
something.
I was like blown away by that. That was really amazing.
Yeah,
completely very, very cool.
people are getting real talented
Yeah.
with that.
Bonnie, did you know the average American family sends each other 10,000 text messages a year? a year.
10,000.
10,000 text messages
That's
a year.
doing a lot of texting. Yeah, 10,000 of them.
That's the way people communicate nowadays.
More
I mean,
so
look how I
than-
communicated with you last night.
Yeah, more so than over the phone.
Sent you a
It's
text
true.
message. You didn't answer your phone, so I sent you a text because I knew eventually you would see it.
You could look at your phone and then you see that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I go to my phone more often than I go to my email, I guess. Somebody sends me an email, I might not see it till 3 days from now.
Oh, that's not good.
I know.
Do you know what the number one topic for texting is? Speaking of, 10,000 texts a year, do you know what the number one topic is when they text?
Telling the boss that they're ill and they might not come in tomorrow.
It's dinner plans.
Dinner plans.
Dinner
Why,
plans.
of course.
Dinner plans.
We have some dinner plans for tonight.
Do you?
I
Where
think
you
we're going to
going?
go to.
Big Apple.
No, we're going for hibachi tonight.
Are you going to Hokkaido?
I think we are.
Oh, wow.
I think we're going to be there.
Very nice. Very nice. Did you know that we first saw these in vehicles in 1983, but it wasn't until 1990 that cup holders were pretty much standard. Cup holders.
Oh, yeah. So they started.
People don't think
in
much about that.
1983, huh?
Yeah.
Which really isn't that long ago.
Now, here's something
I don't
else.
know what I do without my cup holder, actually. I use it every morning.
Here's something else that you don't see in cars anymore when you buy new cars. An ashtray.
No.
You don't see that anymore.
No.
Don't see them.
Instead, you
They've
have.
disappeared.
Yeah. Instead
you're
have,
out the window with the ashes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you can fire up your electrical devices.
Uh-huh.
You got the gadgets for that, for firing up your cell phone.
Right.
No ashtrays
No
anymore.
ashtrays. No ashtrays at all.
It doesn't mean that people don't smoke in the
No,
cars.
people,
though.
of course,
People
they
still
smoke in their cars. And speaking of smoking in the car, now I remember what I was going to tell you. The rental I was driving yesterday, that I picked up from the rental place. Not going to say the name of the place because I'm not going to badger them. But when I got it, it stunk.
Did it?
It was awful. It reeked of smoke and, believe it or not, marijuana.
Really?
Yeah. So, and the girl was like, when I got there, we'll make a note of it, she said.
Oh,
I'm like, gee, okay. So I got a hold of the district manager yesterday. So what do? They get a brand new rental vehicle, bigger than what they gave me, and they drove it all the way to my house.
Ooh, that's perfect.
Brought it to me and
Yeah.
took the stench smelling vehicle back to the rental place.
I saw that truck out there.
That's my wife's.
Oh, that one is.
That's Rachel's.
That's a big truck.
Yeah, we lifted that truck. That's her truck. She's driving the rental today because I
Okay.
have to take her truck to get some LED lights put in it after I get out of
Wow.
here today.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's her bet. That's her big boy. That's
Yeah.
her toy.
You better not smash it.
No, that's her toy.
You got to drive home safely.
Yeah, that's her toy.
Don't hit any deer.
No. Did you know that more than 75% of us check our mail every single day? Now, see, that I know does not pertain to you because you check your email every 3 days. Correct?
Oh, the actual mail
Actual
that comes from
email,
the mailman?
yeah. No,
Oh.
email. Yes.
Oh, I thought the mail.
No, email.
No, I open up my mail.
Yep.
But what percentage they're not?
75% check their email every day.
A lot of people
Right.
being checking.
Yep. Did you know that 32% of Americans, 32% of American adults say that their spouse is guilty of hogging the covers? Hogging the covers. Now, is Gary a cover hog? I am. Rachel hates it.
Yeah.
Rachel completely hates it. I hog the bed.
Oh, no.
I hog the covers. We have a huge king size bed, and
Yeah.
I am 3/4 of the way over on the bed, like on an angle, and I wrap myself up in the comforter
Like a cocoon.
like a cocoon.
Yeah.
And it's literally up over my shoulders, my face, my ears, my cheek. I have just enough room to breathe.
It sounds like you need to get your own blanket then. I mean,
There's been many times that Rachel has gone into the closet and
gotten an extra.
that didn't sound right. It gone to the to whatever you want to call it, the linen closet. There we go.
Yeah.
To get out another comforter.
I know that closet.
because I steal the comforter from her.
And you can never have enough comforters in
No.
there, and blankets and towels and things.
Did you know that 15% of business workers have business cards? Only 15% of business
Yeah.
workers. That's not good. That's not good, especially for somebody that's in my line of work. What I do in the wedding business, like G is the same thing.
Yeah.
We have to have business cards consistently with us.
You want to have
because
a card.
you never know who you're going to run into. Just like, do you have business cards for massage?
I
Like,
used
for
to have a
instance, if-
business card, but no,
Okay.
since I've gotten into massage, I've never even made up my own card
does
yet.
does your place of business furnish business cards with your name on them? So if you're like, let's say you're out and about and you're in casual conversation and somebody says, gosh, I need to find somewhere I can go and get a massage.
Yeah, I'm not
you
sure.
hand them that card
I
with
don't-
your name on it.
I'm pretty sure our business doesn't provide cards with our name.
Okay.
It would be their name.
I'm surprised.
Where I don't think where I work they would want us going on our own, getting
Mhm.
our own business and taking away from the business we're employed at.
Well, no, I'm not talking about, no, not privately. I'm talking about with their, in other words, your place of business's name is on
yeah,
there.
you see, I don't know that,
and your
but that
name.
would be a good thing to ask
Because
like,
now you're
inquire.
bringing business into your
Yeah.
place of business. They make money, and now that person becomes your client.
Yeah, you know, I don't think we do that because
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I would have seen that on somebody's business card before, people I work with and such.
Okay.
But like if we want to go out on our own, then we'll make a measure
Well,
to
yeah, you do
the business cards.
You do your
And
own thing.
I'm more like a word of mouth person,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of like acclimated to only going out to see people maybe that I know
Mhm.
or a friend of a friend.
Mhm.
I don't like the idea of going to strangers' homes really.
Well, I don't
to-
blame you
to
there.
do a massage.
I don't blame you there unless
Yeah.
you know the person.
Yeah.
Because you never know if the guy's going to be a creeper or the girl's going to be a creeper or anything like that. And being you're a female, you have to be extremely very careful.
You just never know. Yeah.
Exactly. Did you know that guys are more likely to be hit on at the gym if they're wearing a hoodie? That's a very interesting fact.
What?
So
if a guy's wearing
if a guy's
hoodie,
wearing a
is
hoodie at the
that-
gym, they are more likely to be hit on by either a female or a
I
male.
wonder if that's like a
It's a look.
generational
It's a
thing.
look.
Like the hoodie look. Does that
It's a look.
make them look like bad?
I don't
bad
know.
or something like
I don't know.
sexy bad,
I don't
or
know.
is it sexy good?
Maybe sexy,
Good in
not
the
good.
hood?
Yeah, good in the hood.
I don't know.
That's an interesting.
That's
thing.
probably like an age thing with that. I bet that's a thing for maybe like a younger generation.
Mhm.
I don't know. You know, I gotta talk to my stepdaughter about that and ask her are young girls digging the guys wearing the hoods?
Yeah, ask her that. That would be interesting. And lastly, did you know that according to experts in the field, at least half of all snake bite victims were drunk when they got bit by a snake?
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Not paying attention where they're walking, what they're doing, where they're going, or what they're going to be doing.
People out on hikes while they're drinking tequila or something.
Yeah, that's just not safe.
Yeah.
That's definitely not safe.
We used to have we used to go to this place called, what was it? I want to say Devil's Lake.
Hmm.
It was a national park by Wisconsin Dells
Mhm.
and like by the Baraboo, Wisconsin area.
Mhm.
And we used to climb this really high mountain, and one part of it even had like steps where you start climbing up,
Mhm.
and it's good for losing weight, exercise. It was a really steep, serious climb,
Mhm.
but you go up in them hills and they had rattlesnakes up there once in a
Ooh.
while. They were known, and once in a while you could hear. When you hear that, you're like, "Woo!"
Do that again.
and then like this 7, and then like. I'm trying to do it.
You know, I'm gonna you're like Michael. You know who Michael Winslow is? He is the guy from Police Academy movies.
Oh, he's
and he's the guy that does all the sound effects
Oh,
with
but
his
he's,
mouth.
He's actually good at it. I make a measly attempt.
That's okay. You did the snake perfectly fine. Definitely so. It is 6:48 on the Get Up and Go show, where we are making snake sound effects this morning. It's time for news, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin for the best deals in town on precious metals. It's always St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Make sure and go see Hawk Levy. Here's Bonnie with the headlines.
Thank you, Evan. In Martin County, one man died after the car he was driving rolled over into a lake after a traffic collision on I-95 around 4:30 a.m. Monday, according to Florida Highway Patrol troopers and Martin County fire rescue workers. The car submerged underwater not far from mile marker 112, which is about 2 miles north of Martin Highway, prompting the deployment of dive teams and dozens of emergency responders, said Chris Camel, Bureau Chief of Emergency Medical Services for Martin County Fire Rescue. The man who died was 24 years old and from Monterey, California, according to an FHP report. Before the car sunk into the lake, the man tried to avoid crashing into an SUV in the southbound lanes and swerved to the right side of the road, according to the FHP report. The report said the man collided with the SUV he was trying to steer away from, sending his car to the grass median of I-95, where it hit a culvert and sunk underwater. The driver of the SUV, age 29, of Palm Beach, was uninjured, according to FHP report. Speculation about a third COVID-19 vaccine booster shot is increasing as large numbers of people refuse the vaccine and variants continue to rise. WPTV's Matt Cessny has more.
I'm Matt Cessny in West Palm Beach. Not enough people being vaccinated and a rise in COVID variants is sparking on more talk about a third COVID booster shot. In his Wellington medical office, Dr. Larry Bush has COVID vaccines ready and waiting.
Just in the last month, Delta has now become the predominant virus in the United States of America.
Yet the resistance of many to vaccinate and the rise of new variants is now creating concern about how well those shots can offer protection.
The question is going to be, how long do the vaccines protect you? In other words, how long is the immunity that they produce, which is very good as far as we know.
Pfizer is now working to provide a booster shot, supposedly to counter any variants and provide more long-term COVID immunity. The doctor at the forefront of the public effort to fight COVID is cautious.
That right now, given the data and the information we have, we do not need to give people a third shot, a boost.
One Palm Beach County commissioner told me it's too early to think about how a COVID booster shot may be given to the public. The initial rollout of vaccines were left to the counties to decide. In Palm Beach County, there were mass vaccination sites and a reservation system at public supermarkets that proved to be frustrating in its first few weeks. Many health experts say the best solution would likely be allowing people to get the shot in their own doctor's offices.
The major reason why people in this country do get a vaccine is by encouragement of their healthcare provider.
At this point, it's still too early to say how a COVID booster shot would be made available to the public. But if it is anything like the first two vaccine shots, then that decision would be left up to state health officials. In West Palm Beach, Matt Cessny, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Decorations missing, broken at Palm City Daughter's gravesite. WPTV's Megan McRoberts has the story.
When Barbie and her daughter Mackenzie want to see 11-year-old Maddie Demers for the last 4.5 years, they've gone out here.
We go visit her at least once a week.
Barbie often leaving her daughter and Mackenzie's sister fresh flowers next to a light-up angel and a Spider-Man figurine, Maddie's favorite superhero.
It's comfort. It's healing.
Maddie died from a rare bone cancer. We've shared her story over the years, first meeting her here when she was just 6 years old, and when her family created the Maddie's Fight Foundation to raise money to support other families battling childhood cancer.
We've helped at least 50 families.
But now they're asking for a little help keeping Maddie's gravesite a place that doesn't add to their pain. Over the last year, they say they've noticed some items getting nicked by weed whackers.
And we've called and just kind of said, do you mind if they be careful?
And over the weekend, Mackenzie went to Forest Hills to bring Maddie a plant.
I found the broken, the tree plant, and then the Spider-Man and the angel were gone.
She's crying and upset.
A sign at the Forest Hills Cemetery says they're not responsible for anything broken or stolen, but Barbie doesn't know where the missing items are. A policy sign says the cemetery can remove statues and toys at plots, something Barbie says hadn't been a problem for the first few years. If the items were taken, Barbie wants them back and plans to bring new items to celebrate Maddie's birthday at the end of the month.
Hope that I can put back her Spider-Man. I guess I'll get another angel and set down there. I just hope that they will be able to stay.
We reached out to Forest Hills Monday for a comment. We're still awaiting a response. Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
Cuban activists continue to rally across Florida in solidarity with their relatives and friends who have been taking to the streets in unprecedented numbers on the communist island.
Communities, both on the municipal and county level, identify some infrastructure needs. Obviously, they have to put up some money too, and then we could do it and hopefully be able to get a lot of projects done.
More families are getting closure after South Florida's condo collapse. 4 victims were recovered yesterday, raising the death toll to 94. That leaves 22 people still missing. And lastly, there's a new addition at Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom. The theme park says a Nile hippo calf was born yesterday. Major League Baseball is committing up to $150 million to the Players Alliance, a nonprofit organization formed last year and composed of active and former Major League players, aiming to build more equitable systems in baseball and increase Black representation throughout the sport, according to a Monday's news release. It represents the largest financial commitment in Major League Baseball history toward the goal of improving diversity in the sport, on the field, in managerial coaching positions, and in front office leadership. News time is 6:55, and we'll have weather and traffic together next.
$6:56 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's the Tuesday morning edition. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
Well, we don't have any accidents, so everything is really up to speed here on a Tuesday morning. Heading out on the major highways, you're going to see a clear ride right now. US 1 looking good throughout Martin and St. Lucie counties. There's your latest look at traffic. In 76 under a clear sky in Fort St. Lucie. In Narvik, Norway, a cloudy 57. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday. Today's forecast. Another active day out there with scattered numerous showers and thunderstorms, some heavy rainfall potential, but the severe aspect is being toned down as that upper low pulls to the north. On Wednesday, morning showers and storms, then clearing with less rain chances going into the end of the week. High temperatures stay into the upper 80s, lows into the upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist James Wheeland on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
We are coming up on 7 o'clock right here at WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. And then hour number 2 for me and you and Bonnie and everybody else and Hansi and Jack Frosty and Kaya and everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Oh, thank you very much, Madam Announcer. It is July the 13th, 2021. It is Tuesday.
Are you like a stalker or something?
I am not a stalker. How many times do I have to tell you this?
Are you avoiding reality?
Sometimes I do.
Are you taking medication?
Yes, I'm on heavy doses of love, okay? Love in a bottle. 7:07 right now. Mr. Clock, would you certify that?
It's now 7:07 a.m.
That's the only kind of medication I take is love because I don't like spreading hate. I spread love. I open the bottle and it just pours out, Bonnie.
Well, you're taking, the right medication then.
Have
you
to.
don't want to take the hate medication.
No, that's ridiculous.
Of course, when people be hating all the time,
There's
that's
too much of
usually
that in
what
the
they take
world.
medicine for.
Way too much of that in the world these days.
There is. And what the world needs now is love and sweet love.
You could sing that hymn. Isn't that like an old Coca-Cola? I like to teach the world to sing.
You're getting it confused with that one.
Yeah, okay.
They're
All
they're
right.
similar.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
They're kind of like on that same
Yeah.
kind of basis.
Who did that
it's,
song?
Love
What the
and
World
Harmony.
Needs Now?
Who
did that song?
Was that? I think it might have been Dionne Warwick,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. But I have to look it up.
I like that song. That song should be like a national, excuse me. That song should be like a national hymn. Whenever there's like hatred going on in the world, you just play that song.
Oh, you know what? It wasn't Dionne Warwick. It was
Who was
Jackie DeShannon.
Oh.
Of all people.
Okay.
I wonder if Dionne Warwick sang it too.
I think Dionne Warwick did That's What Friends Are For.
She did.
Yeah. That was another great tune.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Another great tune pertaining to love.
And I liked it when she got together with George Michael too
Mhm.
on what's that song that she did with him that was so sweet.
Oh gosh, I don't know. But you know what I do? I do remember that always gets me is the when all the musicians got together and they did USA for Africa, We Are the World. I absolutely love that song.
Imagine being in that auditorium or the studio where they all showed up.
They did that after an awards program. They all went to I forget whose studio it was, and that's where they recorded the whole thing.
Yeah, can you imagine?
So,
and I think the producer of that was Quincy Jones, might have
Mhm.
been the big producer
Yeah,
of that.
yes.
And he was kind of like the father figure of getting all of these egos together in one
you had
room.
Cyndi
and
Lauper, Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson.
I remember
I
and
mean,
Sting
just the
and
list goes
Bono.
on and on.
You had Michael Jackson too. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. Diana Ross, I think,
Yeah.
had been in there too. Bono.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, yeah.
I
he
mean,
was there.
it's just there had to be at least 50 different musical artists in
And
there.
what an amazing production that they did put together. Of course, if Quincy was the head of it and he was handling it, he would only put out the right sound of
yeah,
it, make it a
definitely.
masterpiece.
Another one that really hits home with me is Michael Jackson's "Heal the World."
Oh yeah,
make it a better place.
Mhm.
Love that song.
And Man in the Mirror inspires me too.
Yeah, definitely a great tune.
I think that's probably my favorite Michael Jackson jam. Man in the
Definitely,
Mirror.
definitely, I agree. It's a great tune. Great tune. Let's do some birthdays. As we mentioned before, today is July 13th, 2021. If you're having a birthday today, we say happy birthday to you and yours. Bonnie, what do you have this morning?
Yes, we do. We just say happy birthday to you if you're celebrating.
Okay.
I don't
very
have
good.
anybody on the big birthday party list for today, but just happy birthday.
All right, very good. Well, we have 13 more days until Rachel's big 46th birthday.
Wow.
46.
Are you taking Rachel to Hokkaido?
Well, no, here's what we're doing because I'm working on her birthday. So the in-laws are taking her out to dinner for her birthday because I have to work at the stadium.
So they're
I have a
coming
ball
from all the way from
5 miles away.
Wait, now
My in-laws.
Her dad.
No, not those in-laws.
Oh.
My other in-laws.
Okay.
My daughter-in-laws.
Oh, those
Parents.
in-laws. Okay.
Yeah, Denise and my son Darren. They're gonna take Rachel out for her birthday.
Oh, they're all in the
Well, I'm
neighborhood.
at the
They're gonna
stadium. Yeah, they're all very, very close. So they're going to take her out for her birthday. And then this Sunday, it's kind of really, her birthday is being sandwiched in the middle of everything. So this Sunday, we're going to SeaWorld for part 1 of her birthday.
Oh, that's
just going to be
perfect.
be a day trip.
Wow.
Then the following week, we'll do her birthday. And then the following Sunday, 2 Sundays after this Sunday, Rachel and I are going back to SeaWorld, and we're going to stay one night in SeaWorld.
Just by yourselves,
Just
then.
ourselves. No kids, no dogs, no animals, no Gavin, no nothing.
That's like what we did when we went to Kissimmee and we stayed at that nice
Part
Holiday
2.
Inn resort.
Mhm.
We actually had the whole family involved, and then the family went home, and we decided to stay alone there one more night.
There
We
you
were
go.
liking it so well.
I'm really looking forward to it because Rachel and I have not been away by ourselves for quite a few years. In fact, the last time we went away was on a Royal Caribbean cruise 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I do believe 2 or 3 years ago, we went on a 7-day cruise
All by yourselves.
all by
huh?
ourselves with nobody
Yeah.
else. And then we were going to go last year, but then the pandemic hit. So we had to cancel reservations. So now I'm going to make new reservations for next year.
Better start making those
Yeah,
reservations
I'll get them done and over
already.
with.
Yeah.
Colton Haynes is 33 years old today. That's Detective Jack Samuels on the American Horror Story. Steve McQueen, 33 years old today. That's Steve McQueen's grandson. Stephen R. McQueen is 33 years old today. My stomach just growled again. Michael Mando.
Put the
I
microphone down
apologize.
there.
I know, right? I should get another mic, this one, and just
The
like
little
stick it here.
gremlin wants to say something.
I know. Michael Mondo is 40 years old today. That's Nacho Varga on Better Call Saul. Ken Jeong is 52 years old today. That's Mr. Chow in the Hangover movies. Dr. Ken.
Oh, that's Mr. Chow,
Mhm.
and he's age 52.
Yep. And he's also one of the judges on The Masked Singer.
I thought that was
He's hilarious.
When I saw that being advertised for The Masked Singer, I
Yep.
thought that was him.
He's hilarious.
He's a funny guy, isn't
oh yeah,
he?
he's great.
He brings so much to the Hangover movies.
Yeah,
he is
really
funny.
does. He really does. Spud Webb is 58. That's the former NBA star who won the 1986 Slam Dunk Contest. Tom Kenny is 59. He is SpongeBob SquarePants, the voice behind SpongeBob SquarePants.
Is a 59-year-old dude.
59-year-old
Yeah.
dude named Tom Kenny. Wow, that's amazing. Cameron Crowe is 64. That's the writer-director of Jerry Maguire. Michael Spinks is 65. That's the brother of beautiful Leon Spinks.
And Michael Spinks was the one, he was in the ring with Mike Tyson back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Went down in like 90 or 91 seconds.
He got dropped 91 seconds in 1988. He got dropped by Tyson.
You know, that's one of those times where, you know, that story with Mike Tyson that night in the sports world was so big. One of those times where you remember exactly where you were at the time. For me
Agreed.
anyway.
Agreed. Totally agreed. Daphne Reed, 73 years old today. That's the second Vivian Banks in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Tony Kornheiser is 73. That's the host of ESPN's Pardon the Interruption. Richard Marin, Cheech Marin, 75 years old today.
And I think his friend Chong just had a birthday a couple of days ago.
Yep. Cheech is the guy that talk like this, man. You know, like, hey, come on over and let's go out and go for a ride in the lowrider, man.
Haven't seen those guys in a while.
They're
in
funny.
anything.
They are hilarious.
Oh yeah. Classic.
Oh my gosh.
Classic stuff.
Great stuff. Harrison Ford, 79 years old today. That's Han Solo.
And still doing it.
Yes.
He's out there filming Indiana Jones like 5.
Mm-hmm.
And man,
Keeps going.
he made headline news too a couple of weeks ago. He had this like shoulder injury while I guess they were rehearsing for a fight scene.
Yeah. By the way, I stand to be corrected via text message by the wife. We haven't been on a cruise in 3 years.
3 years.
She
Okay.
texted me. I was wrong.
Well, the time goes by so quickly.
Yeah, stand
You
to
think
be
it's like
corrected.
3 years.
Roger McGinn is 79 years old today. That's the Byrds' lead singer. Some of the hits: Turn, 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 8 Miles High, My Back Pages, and Mr. Tambourine Man.
I would like to learn more about him and more about
Mm-hmm.
the Byrds. We've been at home watching a lot of YouTube videos on these old band members and rock and roll bands.
Mhm.
Last night we were watching a little bit about the history of Jefferson Airplane.
Oh,
and
wow.
how
Oh,
they turned
man.
into Starship. And
I remember my first cassette tape from Jefferson Airplane.
did it have
It was purple.
Ride the Tiger on it?
That's all I remember from the song.
Ride the Tiger.
I don't remember what
that was a jamming. a real-
I don't remember the song that was on there. Don't you want somebody to love?
Ah, yeah.
Don't you need somebody to love? So that song was on there.
And possibly White Rabbit might have been on
That's
that
all I.
too.
That's all I remember. It was a cassette tape.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
I
Who
remember
uses cassette tapes anymore?
Oh, I remember seeing these when they were Jefferson Starship. Now, years and years, some years back, we went to see them in Fort Pierce of all places.
Yeah, because they were first Jefferson Airplane, then they went to Jefferson Starship, and then they just went to Starship.
Because Paul Kantner kind of left the band,
Right.
and he wanted to keep Jefferson Airplane where they could not use Jefferson or airplanes, so they just went with the name Starship.
Yep, exactly.
I think they were Jefferson Starship for a while too with Kantner, but when he left, I'm pretty sure he wanted to keep the Jefferson or some sort of thing.
Celebrating a birthday in the heavens today. Passed away in 1978 from Hogan's Heroes, Bob Crane.
Oh.
Bob Crane. He was found dead while making amateur sex videos in Scottsdale, Arizona in 1978. His murder is still unsolved to this day.
One of those unsolved ones, huh?
Yeah, making sex videos.
Yeah.
So anyway, today is National French Fry Day, Bonnie. National French Fry Day.
Which is your favorite kind? And where's
Honestly,
your favorite French fry?
I would have to say I like the curly fries from Arby's.
Those are up there with me too.
I like those.
Yeah.
I like those.
I think they have a stringy shoestring fry too that I like at Checkers, and their loaded fries are really good.
I never tried those before.
The
I've never
loaded
tried
ones?
those. Never tried them
Oh
before.
gosh,
They're
they're
good, huh?
sinful.
Okay.
They're sinfully delicious. And I like the waffle fries too that you get
Okay.
now from Chick-fil-A.
Now
up
today,
there.
if you're driving down the road and you go by a pasture, get out of your vehicle and just look in the pasture, find a cow, and wish them Happy Appreciation Day because it's Cow Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
Yes, Cow Appreciation Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also Embrace Your Geekness Day. So if you're a geek, any kind of geek, you need to embrace yourself.
Right.
Whether you're a computer geek, an electronics geek, a music geek, whatever kind of geek, it's Embrace Your Geekness
Geeks
Day.
are smart, so
Yeah,
to me,
they're very smart.
To me, they're very, very cool.
Intelligent.
Yeah.
Why do you think Best Buy has the Geek Squad?
That's right.
Exactly.
Because they can fix stuff.
So we're
and
going
that
to embrace
matters.
the Geek Squad today.
Mhm.
And lastly, Bonnie, it's Gruntled Workers Day. July 13th is considered Gruntled Workers Day. What does that mean? Well, Gruntled Workers Day falls on July 13th, and contrary to what the word might convey, it was founded to celebrate all that is positive about one's work or job. If Friday nights are your night to get together with your pals or your coworkers, go to the bar, or vent about your job, Gruntled Workers Day is exactly for you.
For the gruntled workers
There you
out
go,
there.
for the Gruntled Workers.
Yep.
That's a great day that they made there. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yep.
Gruntled Workers Day. So if you have a gripe, go out tonight, have a drink, and meet with your other workers, and you guys can all just vent on your problems.
That's a good way to get it off your shoulders, I guess. But
Exactly.
take a Uber while you're there.
Yeah, definitely take an Uber. Don't drink. Don't drink.
If
and
the
drive.
alcoholic beverage is involved.
Yes, don't drink and drive. We don't condone that. It is 7:21 on the Get Up and Go show on the Tuesday morning edition with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news brought to you by Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield, helping families take control of their health for more than 75 years. Bonnie's at the news desk with the headlines.
Thanks, Evan. Speculation about a third COVID-19 vaccine booster shot is increasing as large numbers of people refuse the vaccine and variants continue to rise. WPTV's Matt Cessny has more.
I'm Matt Cessny in West Palm Beach. Not enough people being vaccinated and a rise in COVID variants is sparking on more talk about a third COVID booster shot. In his Wellington medical office, Dr. Larry Bush has COVID vaccines ready and waiting.
Just in the last month, Delta has now become the predominant virus in the United States of America.
Yet the resistance of many to vaccinate and the rise of new variants is now creating concern about how well those shots can offer protection.
The question is going to be, how long do the vaccines protect you? In other words, how long is the immunity that they produce, which is very good as far as we know.
Pfizer is now working to provide a booster shot, supposedly to counter any variants and provide more long-term COVID immunity. The doctor at the forefront of the public effort to fight COVID is cautious.
That right now, given the data and the information we have, we do not need to give people a third shot, a boost.
One Palm Beach County commissioner told me it's too early to think about how a COVID booster shot may be given to the public. The initial rollout of vaccines were left to the counties to decide. In Palm Beach County, there were mass vaccination sites and a reservation system at public supermarkets that proved to be frustrating in its first few weeks. Many health experts say the best solution would likely be allowing people to get the shot in their own doctor's offices.
The major reason why people in this country do get a vaccine is by encouragement of their healthcare provider.
At this point, it's still too early to say how a COVID booster shot would be made available to the public. But if it is anything like the first 2 vaccine shots, then that decision would be left up to state health officials. In West Palm Beach, Matt Cesny, WPTV, News Channel 5.
COVID-19 is making a big comeback in the Orlando area. Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings with the latest numbers.
Our 14-day rolling positivity rate, unfortunately, has increased dramatically for the past 2 weeks. Today it is at 7.78%, so nearly 8%.
Demings says that's almost double what it was just 2 weeks ago, and he's recommending that all Orange County residents, both vaccinated and unvaccinated, consider wearing a mask indoors in crowded environments. City leaders in Port St. Lucie are pleading with Waste Pro, the city's garbage service, to find a solution to long-standing trash in residential areas. WPTV's Derek Lowe has the story.
A lack of workers is translating to more trash not picked up.
Right now, we just don't have enough drivers.
In Port St. Lucie, city leaders are now calling for a special meeting with Waste Pro to address the pile of more than 7,000 complaints from residents.
We have our contract, and people expect for what they're paying to have the garbage picked up.
When it comes to garbage, though, the problems are not entirely new. Waste Pro Senior Vice President Keith Bonanziak says for the last 5 months, his company has employed 6 subcontractor trucks to help service the city. Still, though, the problem remains.
We have actually had to take drivers and couple them up as a team because you can't send one truck out without a helper on the back.
Bonanziak says his company has hired a full-time recruiter to help combat the shortage, along with sign-on and retention bonuses for employees. City leaders say it could be months before the service returns to normal.
I need something tangible. I need a plan. I need an ordinance. I need something tangible.
In Port St. Lucie, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Should school buses be brought back to Indiantown? Years after the school district shuttered the Indiantown bus depot, concerns about student safety and security are compelling some district leaders to question if it should be reinstated. Advocates for housing buses in Indiantown, including village council members who penned a letter to the school board supporting the move, argue it's a public safety matter and in the event of emergency could mean the difference between lives saved or lost. Keeping buses in Indiantown would allow bus drivers who live there to help evacuate students and staff at a moment's notice in the event of a natural disaster. Currently, the closest bus depot is in Stuart, more than 20 miles and at least a 30-minute drive away. The issue is expected to play out at Tuesday's school board meeting, a handful of years after the district shut down the depot and moved all buses to the district's Stuart location. Lastly, Carnival Cruise Line is adding requirements for unvaccinated passengers sailing out of Florida. The company is that non-vax travelers have to pay for COVID-19 testing and travel insurance. The Phoenix Suns have a 2-1 game lead over the Milwaukee Bucks in those NBA Finals. Game 4 is tomorrow night in Milwaukee with the tip-off at 9. Our news time is 7:26, and we'll have weather and traffic together coming up.
$7:27 right now on the Get Up and Go show. It is the Tuesday morning edition with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
Not seeing anything brewing right here on the roadways. Everything is looking good on U.S. Highway 1, and everything is up to speed right now on our turnpike on I-95 throughout the Treasure Coast. And there's your latest look at traffic. And in Stewart, we're seeing a few showers in the area this morning, 79 degrees. In Loveland, Colorado, it's clear and 69. Here's more on our forecast at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday. Today's forecast. Another active day out there with scattered numerous showers and thunderstorms, some heavy rainfall potential, but the severe aspect is being toned down as that upper low pulls to the north. On Wednesday, morning showers and storms, then clearing with less rain chances going into the end of the week. High temperatures stay into the upper 80s, lows into the upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist James Wieland on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
There's a snake loose in a town. It's called a zebra cobra. Its stripes, they are black and brown. Black and brown. down. Seriously, it's terrible, right? Everybody's looking for it. Oh, and I just learned it can kill you with some venom spit. Venom spit.
Wait, was that Brittany?
It was last Friday, 3 miles away. But that it was the day before yesterday. And it's still out there. It might be headed our way. So inside we'll stay. Whoa, we're very scared. Whoa, she's standing on a chair. Looks out the window with a terrified stare. Whoa, she's standing on the chair.
This is not headline news. Harrison Ford turned 79 today. He vowed to make Indiana Jones 5 if it was the last thing he did. And it seems to be turning out that way. Coffee prices are skyrocketing. How much of an increase? Starbucks is offering 36-month financing on all Frappuccinos. According to a new survey, people's favorite childhood memories include playing with friends, watching cartoons, and not knowing what a Kardashian was. And a storm caused the New York City subway system to flood. It was something to see, especially the rats that were able to surf to safety on their slices of pizza. This is not headline news.
From not headline news, we go to the stupid stuff.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
Alrighty. There's an 81-year-old guy in the small Chilean village of Angol who shocked his grieving relatives by doing this. He woke up in the coffin at his own wake.
Oh my gosh, no.
Woke up in the coffin at his own wake.
That would be a shocker, no?
He was supposedly dead. He was dead, and he woke up. It seems that Filiberto Carrasco's family members discovered his body limp and cold and were convinced that he was dead. So rather than call a doctor, they just called the funeral home. They dressed him in his finest suit for the wake, and his relatives gathered to bid him a final farewell. And then he just sat up. The man who rose from the dead
Whoa.
said he was not in any pain
Oh, man.
and only asked for a glass of water.
And maybe in his next round, a doctor's approval first before you almost bury me.
Could you imagine going to somebody's funeral and all of a sudden the body just does this? Boom.
Yeah.
And then
starts
says,
coming right up.
I need a glass of water. Bonnie, what would you do?
I would say I need a beer.
Would you run? Would you run? Would you run out?
I'd be too scared. I would be frozen in my shoes right there, probably even too afraid to run. Chin dropping to the floor. It would be too interesting to where I probably wouldn't run. No, I just got to see this and not believing it.
Unbelievable.
And the little hairs being pulled in the back of my neck because it's oh so kind of freaky and scary. All of the emotions at the same time.
I
Evan.
would run so fast, like you have no idea.
You would be like Speedy Gonzalez, right?
Oh yeah, I would. Honestly, I would run so fast. I'd be.
Evan would be like running down that street.
Definitely.
We were talking about, getting cremated before.
Yeah, I remember that.
I can consider maybe that's one of the reasons I probably wouldn't mind being cremated because you never know. It's kind of like before you bury me, make sure I'm really dead first.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a freaky story.
Yeah. If you go to a funeral and somebody sits up, please let us know. We want to know about this so we can talk about it. A 65-year-old guy in Vienna, Austria, was at his apartment this past Monday when he sat down on the toilet and he felt a little bit of a pinch. And he realized that a large snake had bit him on his genitalia.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
this is like one of my worst nightmares.
Okay.
Or your worst nightmare.
Well, our worst nightmare.
Oh.
His 24-year-old neighbor is a big snake guy and collects them. He has 11 of them. Lives right next door. And he thinks one of the snakes got loose. Made its way through the piping system.
Oh my gosh.
And came
no.
up through the guy's toilet next door just as he was sitting down. It was an albino reticulated python, which are native to Asia and can grow up to 30 feet. They're not poisonous. And luckily, this one was only 5 feet long.
Just think how many gentlemen are, sitting down on that throne this morning and having to look before they get seated.
Yeah.
I would be looking.
The guy who got bit was treated for minor injuries, and his neighbor might face charges for negligence. Now, that brings up a really good idea for me. I just had a light bulb go off in my head.
What, are you going to scare someone? Try
No.
to scare someone by putting a snake in their toilet?
No.
Or a play snake?
No. I just came up with a great idea.
What do you have?
All right. So here's my idea. And it has to do with me going on Shark Tank. I'm going to come up with an invention that you put in the bottom of your toilet that's a screen that lifts up, okay, when it's time to flush the toilet. So
yeah.
everything goes down.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That prevents anything from coming up
it.
the pipe
Mm-hmm.
and biting you on your privates.
That's a good idea.
Okay, kind of like a mesh metal type of screen,
All
a
of
device.
the people that heard this story will be buying it.
Well, I don't know if they'll be buying it or not, but I mean, do you think it would sell?
I'm not so sure.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Snake prevention in the toilet. You know how plumbers, they have a snake that when your toilet's clogged, they go down with this device called a snake.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
they snake
do,
it
don't
out.
they?
Well, now you have a device to prevent a snake from coming out. So the plumber snakes out your toilet, and now you can prevent the snake from coming out.
My nephew is a plumber. In fact, we're taking him out to dinner tonight.
Ask him
So
about that.
I'll ask him what he thinks of your invention.
I would love to hear his thought. It's like I said,
We'll
it's
talk about it over dinner.
it's a device that prevents the snake or any kind of animal or rodent from coming up through the drain. Wouldn't you feel more at ease knowing that that's there when you sit down?
Well, I don't have too much of a phobia about that, so I'm not one of the people who would be buying it. Although there might be some people with phobias like that who'd be buying your product. Evan.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's designed for. People that have a phobia.
And I'm sure there are many out there. So who am I to say that yay or nay? Just because I won't be buying it doesn't mean that somebody else won't.
Some people have a phobia of just plain right out sitting on a toilet seat.
Yeah.
And that's a major phobia.
Oh yeah, like germs in that.
Just germaphobe.
I wonder if Howie Mandel has that
I'm sure
problem.
he does.
Like he probably has to have layers and layers and layers put on his toilet before he sits, and then he probably has his maid to come peel the layers off and put new layers on every time he goes to the bathroom.
I'm sure he has that phobia.
I'm telling you.
It's a bad phobia. Yeah. I remember once where I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and it was dark and I thought the toilet seat was down.
Oh.
And it wasn't down.
Oh, darn.
And I went to sit down and guess what happened? I got swallowed up by the toilet monster.
Oh my gosh.
It just was not pretty.
We just got a new toilet seat put on at our house in one of the rooms. Oh, it's a big one. But when you sit on it, it's so divine. It's comfortable, almost as comfortable as a reclining chair.
Wow. Okay. Very
I
nice.
sit
Is
there
it padded?
I just want to sit there all day.
Is it padded?
It's not even padded, but it's.
See, I like toilet seats that are padded.
I know, I do
They're
too.
comfortable.
Oh yeah, my cousin's grandma had
It's
one.
decadence when you sit down on a padded toilet seat.
Yeah, it is.
Because it just absorbs everything.
Especially when it's like brand new and you
Mm.
sit down in that fluff in that cushion and you're just
Man,
like,
you know what I hate though?
"Ah."
I hate these small toilet seats that you sit on. They're just not enough room
Too
for you to
tiny.
fit your whole bum on
Too
there.
tiny for your hiney.
Yeah, they're too tiny for your hiney. I'm like, what are people thinking?
Evan likes them big.
You got to have a big toilet seat. You know, when you get a big guy like me sit down, you got to have room.
Yeah.
You know,
You got to keep it closed or a little kid could come along and fall in it.
I know exactly. Let's go to Northern Ireland, where a 31-year-old guy named Declan Butcher was arrested for drugs recently when the police discovered a small bag of cocaine on him. Now, it wasn't in his pockets. It was tucked between his butt cheeks.
Oh.
Yeah, tucked it
Yeah.
between his booty.
Yeah.
The police asked Declan about it, and he played dumb, claiming that the baggie must have been put there by somebody else. The police were responding to a disturbance outside of a bar.
Someone just came along and said, "Let's put it here."
Yeah. The police responded to a disturbance outside a bar, and they found Declan hiding in the bathroom. Now, it's unclear what charges that he's going to face. Declan does have a rap sheet. He was previously arrested 5 years ago after getting into a fight with two guys. He knocked both of them out with a single punch at one time.
Mm.
And at that time, he had 51 previous convictions, including 8 assaults.
Wow. Wow. He had a bit like a big record
Yeah.
coming through already.
Yeah.
51.
51.
Yeah. And 8
51.
assaults. That's a lot. That's a big number.
This next story, I think, will take the cake for the strangest news story of the week.
Did you bring cake? First, we have to have cake. Before I want cake
Get
now.
it takes the cake. No, but we had the bagels yesterday.
I know.
We're going to go to Dibble, Oklahoma, where convenience store manager Carol Mendenhall received a citation from police for, are you ready for this, Bonnie? Allowing her 4 goats to have sex in her front yard in public view. Let that resonate.
Well,
for a
maybe she
minute.
didn't have any control over those goats.
Why
and
not?
What they were going to do.
Why not the backyard? Why not in the back? Why did it have to be in the front?
Wait, now what town is this?
Dibble, Oklahoma.
Would
you look up Dibble, Oklahoma, and tell me what their population
Yeah,
is?
I don't think it would have that big of a population, really.
Now, somebody had been attending to the 3 females who were all in heat at the same time. And when you live in a town, here it is. It's a town of a population of 228.
I got 1,038 from 2019 showing.
Okay.
So maybe it populated a little bit more, but yeah, it's small.
Okay. Well, when you live in a town that small, the police just don't have much really to do. So to Dibble's credit, the town's credit, the city council has since repealed the goat ordinance after a successful campaign launched by Carol. So now there's no more ordinance that says goats can't have sex in the front yard.
Wow.
She appealed it.
Yeah, she did. And I suppose, maybe the town has to get a little bit of revenue some way, somehow, and they come up with things to try to get that revenue.
Front yard with a goat. Folks, if you're ever driving down the road and you see goats in the front yard, don't stop because they don't like to be watched.
I would stop because they're just so cute.
They are.
Oh,
they are cute.
When we go to Lion Country Safari, I always got to go in and pet the little goats.
Do you?
Oh, I love them. They're just like little dogs to me.
You love your goats.
I do.
You love
Yeah.
you love yourself some goats.
I would almost like to have one. Really, I just think they're so cool. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I go in there and I feed them and I brush them, and
So if you were allowed to have a goat, you would have a goat.
one time there was this really aggressive one, and the goat nearly got out the gate at Lion Country Safari.
Oh.
Gary had to kind of grab me in the arm and the goat and shut the gate really fast because this really aggressive one tried to get out of there. knocking me out of the way and stuff.
Wow. Okay. Maybe it liked you.
I don't know, but I mean, I sure liked him.
Wait a minute. That just doesn't sound right.
No, it's just truly a love of animals.
I know you. Okay. All right.
And
all
that
right.
bird, the little bird place isn't too far away from that.
No?
At Lion Country.
Oh.
The what do they call them? The atrium? Do they call it an atrium?
I
or
don't know.
something?
I don't know of a bird place out by Lion
All
Country.
these little beautiful birds flying around in it of different colors. You get the yellow ones, purple ones. I think some orange, blue. Fascinating colors of these little birds.
Oh, okay.
And then there's so many of them. They'll even like land on your arm. I think Busch Gardens has the same thing.
Oh, yeah,
a
they
bird
have the
atrium.
yes, I know exactly what you're talking
The
about.
very same thing they
Yes,
have.
I definitely know exactly where you are talking about. That's your stupid news for Tuesday morning, July 13, 2021. Time for the real stuff. So without further ado, let's go to the news desk. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. For the best deals in town on any type of precious metal, it's always St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Bonnie is standing by with the headlines.
Thank you, Evan. Cuban activists continue to rally across Florida in solidarity with their relatives and friends who have been taking to the streets in unprecedented numbers on the communist island.
Sebastian Arcos, assistant director of the Cuban Research Institute at Florida International University, says this unprecedented Cuban protest shows just how sick and tired people are of being oppressed.
The first time that large number of Cubans go out into the street simultaneously for openly political reasons since 1959.
He says protesters think the government is incompetent and they're calling on President Miguel Diaz-Canel to step down. They're upset over economic conditions, restrictions on civil liberties, and the COVID-19 response. Wendy Grossman, Miami.
More families are getting closure after South Florida's condo collapse. 4 victims were recovered yesterday, raising the death toll to 94. That leaves 22 people still missing. A number of small and rural communities in Florida have an opportunity to get their hands on money for improvements. Governor Ron DeSantis is announcing that more than $29 million is being made available in block grant funding.
Communities, both on the municipal and county level, identify some infrastructure needs. Obviously, they have to put up some money too, and then we could do it and hopefully be able to get a lot of projects done.
DeSantis believes the projects can also stimulate job growth. Decorations missing, broken at Palm City daughter's gravesite. WPTV's Megan McRoberts has the story.
When Barbie and her daughter Mackenzie want to see 11-year-old Maddie Demers, for the last 4.5 years, they've gone out here.
We go visit her at least once a week.
Barbie often leaving her daughter and Mackenzie's sister fresh flowers next to a light-up angel and a Spider-Man figurine, Maddie's favorite superhero.
It's comfort. It's healing.
Maddie died from a rare bone cancer. We've shared her story over the years, first meeting her here when she was just 6 years old, and when her family created the Maddie's Fight Foundation to raise money to support other families battling childhood cancer.
We've helped at least 50 families.
But now they're asking for a little help keeping Maddie's gravesite a place that doesn't add to their pain. Over the last year, they say they've noticed some items getting nicked by weed whackers.
And we've called and just kind of said, do you mind if they be careful?
And over the weekend, Mackenzie went to Forest Hills to bring Maddie a plant.
I found the broken, the tree plant, and then the Spider-Man and the angel were gone.
She's crying and upset.
A sign at the Forest Hills Cemetery says they're not responsible for anything broken or stolen, but Barbie doesn't know where the missing items are. A policy sign says the cemetery can remove statues and toys at plots, something Barbie says hadn't been a problem for the first few years. If the items were taken, Barbie wants them back and plans to bring new items to celebrate Maddie's birthday at the end of the month.
I hope that I can put back her Spider-Man. I guess I'll get another angel and set down there. I just hope that they will be able to stay.
We reached out to Forest Hills Monday for a comment. We're still awaiting a response. Megan McRoberts, WPTV, News Channel 5.
In Martin County, one man died after the car he was driving rolled over into a lake after a traffic collision on I-95 around 4:30 a.m. Monday, according to Florida Highway Patrol troopers and Martin County Fire rescue workers. The car submerged underwater not far from mile marker 112, which is about 2 miles north of Martin Highway, prompting the deployment of dive teams and dozens of emergency responders, said Chris Kamel, a Bureau Chief of Emergency Medical Services for Martin County Fire Rescue. The man who died was 24 years old and from Monterey, California. Before the car sunk into the lake, the man tried to avoid crashing into an SUV in the southbound lanes and swerved to the right side of the road, according to the FHP report. The report said the man collided with the SUV he was trying to steer away from, sending his car to the grass median of I-95, where it hit a culvert and sunk underwater. The driver of the SUV, age 29, of Palm Beach, was uninjured, according to the FHP report. A suspected peeping Tom turned himself in Monday to Port St. Lucie police. The incident happened on March 5 at Publix Supermarket in the Rivergate Plaza shopping center. Detectives said Tyler Petticord, age 20, allegedly entered the women's bathroom around 7 p.m. and was spotted recording video or taking a photo of a female customer from an adjacent stall. And lastly, there's a new addition at Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom. The theme park says a Nile hippo calf was born yesterday. It's all Pete Alonso. The Mets slugger dominated the 2021 Home Run Derby on Monday night, seizing his second straight Derby crown as he rolled through each round with relative ease. And Alonso wasn't the lone superstar showing off at Coors Field on Monday. Shohei Ohtani and Juan Soto turned in an epic first-round battle that ended in double overtime. 7:53 is our news time. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$7:55 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, on a Tuesday morning, no accidents to report. As we're seeing, the highways are looking nice and clear, including US 1 and I-95. The Turnpike, all looking good right here. Drive safely. There's your latest look at traffic. Partly cloudy in Port St. Lucie at 76. And in Colden, Denmark, it's 74. Here's more on our weather at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday. Today's forecast. Another active day out there with scattered numerous showers and thunderstorms, some heavy rainfall potential, but the severe aspect is being toned down as that upper low pulls to the north. On Wednesday, morning showers and storms, then clearing with less rain chances going into the end of the week. High temperatures stay into the upper 80s, lows into the upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist James Wheeland on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
And we thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. It is the morning show with Evan and Bonnie, as the announcer said.
Boy, you got grim. He's so grumpy.
I just told you I am not.
Brew some coffee.
All right, you go brew some coffee, and I'm going to sit here and wait. And while you're doing that, we have to officially certify the time. This 07, Mr. Clock, would you certify?
It's now 8:07 a.m.
That's right. And joining us in studio, Bonnie, we have a very esteemed guest we'd like to welcome, and it's very rare that we get him here in studio because he's such a busy guy. Major John Budenseek from the Martin County Sheriff's Office. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Evan.
It's so glad to see. I am so glad to see you in here.
It's good to be here.
It's good to have you here with us. It's definitely good to have you. Got a text message last night from Christine, the public information officer, and the text message says, quote, "I bet I know what you're going to talk about this morning." And yep, we're going to talk about firsthand experience because yours truly right here in Martin County experienced vandalism to his vehicle.
Not just vandalism. I think there was a burglary involved or an attempted burglary. And we've been talking about this for how many years now, Evan? A couple years.
Yeah. You're preaching to everybody on the air. And, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, you talk about it. Oh, yeah, it'll never happen to me. And that's people's attitudes, Bonnie, it'll never happen to me, you know, And guess what? It happened to me.
It happened to you. And it brings back an incident too, way back when my purse was snatched in a Walmart parking lot. I thought it would never happen to me.
Right.
Here I had a lot of cash in the purse at the time.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yeah.
Once it does.
Yeah.
There you are.
John, is it safe to talk about the details from last Friday? Is it okay? Or you would rather me not give out certain things?
No, absolutely. You can talk about your side holistically.
Okay.
Go
all right.
for it.
So I come into work and it's 4:47 in the morning. I pull in the parking lot. And the reason I know it is because I pulled all the dash cam video and I only got the audio because it was dark out. 4:47. And 3 minutes later at 4:50, my car is vandalized in the parking lot. They break out the windows. They attempted to steal the vehicle. They couldn't get the vehicle because I had the key fob in my bag here in the studio. And really, John, it's like you've been talking and preaching. They're looking for three things: guns, cash, and credit cards.
Correct.
That's it.
And cars.
And cars, of course. And they found none of those three things in my vehicle. They were in my vehicle a total of 6 minutes. And that was it, in and out.
So you're a poster child of a successful attempted burglary and they got nothing.
No, because I follow the rules
You do follow
of
the
what
rules.
you preach to everybody. And I would love for you to reiterate to our listeners what listeners need to do when they pull their vehicle in their driveway at night or in their workplace.
So I'm not just trying to make you feel good because I'm here, but I'm going to make you feel good. You would be our classic poster child of the person that did everything correctly.
Right.
Unfortunately, you were still a victim.
Right.
I think you were just a crime of what they thought was an opportunity. You were still a victim.
Right.
But when you park your car anywhere, lock it, take the keys with you. Guns are a huge thing with us. We're still recovering guns. We recovered a couple more guns this week. I know we talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Put guns either in a lockbox inside your car or take your gun inside your house, but don't leave it in your car unsecured. Bags, anything of value, credit cards, wallets, don't leave them where someone can easily look in from the outside, see it, and then break the window and snatch it and run. Don't leave it in your car, period. Take your valuables in your house or in your private space whenever you leave your car. These guys are regular coming to Martin County. They've been doing it for a few years. That's why we started the Wrong Exit Initiative, because we're pushing back hard on these guys. We're tired of them coming to Martin County, taking advantage of our hardworking people, and then going and ruining people's credits or, you know, you're going through probably a little bit of a nightmare trying to get your car fixed right now.
Yeah. I took it over to the dealership And luckily, I know the service manager over at Ford. So, I mean, he just like, don't worry about it. I got you covered.
Right.
We'll contact my insurance company. And I have USAA. I have the best auto insurance, in my humble opinion. They really took care of me. They put me in a Mac Daddy rental. They just took good care of me. So I'm able to get what's called OEM windows and not off-market windows.
Right.
So the windows have to be ordered, but it takes 7 to 10 days to get this stuff. So now I'm at an inconvenience. I don't have my car for 7 to 10 days. Plus, I've got to pay a $500 deductible out of my pocket.
Yep.
It's really setting,
$500.
It's really setting you back
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's setting me back $500.
Pretty hard, actually.
Yeah.
500.
And let's talk about that for a minute.
Uh-huh.
So they didn't get anything out of your car, but you're still a victim. It's still going to cost you. It's cost you time. It's cost you money.
Right.
And we have made an arrest in this case, thankfully. We're not done. We're going to get all the knuckleheads before it's all over with.
Okay.
But we were able, our Stewart Police Department worked the initial part of the case.
Right.
But our detectives are part of the South Florida Task Force,
Uh-huh.
where we go outside of Martin County and we chase these guys wherever thou goest, and we're going to get them. And in this case, they left you and they stole 2 cars
right next door.
Right next door.
Okay.
And took those cars south. Both cars were recovered by the South Florida Task Force. One of the cars was occupied, and they made an arrest of a juvenile.
And that was same day.
Same day. Yeah.
Same day, Bonnie. They found the 2 cars. Or 1 car. They got both cars?
They got both cars.
Both cars.
Both cars.
Same day, hours later, all the way down in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, and we were wondering if your situation was connected to that situation over there. And
Yeah, it was.
First,
It
they
was.
were in Port St. Lucie.
It
and
was.
They really get around.
They worked their way. They started north, came down to here. I don't know if they had been eyeing my vehicle for the last couple of days. I have no idea. But I just happened to be at the right place at the wrong time. And it's kind of ironic that just 3 minutes after that happened, they got me.
It's actually pretty scary. They either followed you from St. Lucie County to work, or they were already hiding in the next parking lot doing burglaries. Either way, it's scary because you're coming to work in the middle of the city of Stewart in a beautiful, safe place, and you have these criminals from down south here committing crime. Thankfully, you're all right.
Now, how do they know that I'm not an undercover law enforcement officer driving that type of vehicle? Because my vehicle looks like an undercover vehicle that law enforcement does use. How do they not know that?
They're kids. A lot of them are kids. In this case, one of them that we've arrested already is a juvenile.
Okay.
I don't think they care. I think they run wide open when they get caught. They pay their penalty because they're used to Broward County. They're used to Palm Beach County. They get no time. Nothing happens to them. Here, they're still a juvenile, but we're going to send them to DYS for 21 days. We're going to put them in programs. We're going to make their lives as legally miserable as we can.
Now, because the vehicles were found down in Broward County, and the crime was committed here in Martin County, do they get put through the Martin County jail system or the Broward County jail system?
They initially get arrested and go into the Broward County system.
Okay.
But because the crime took place here, they'll end up in our judicial system.
So they get extradited up here to Martin County.
Not kids. Kids go into jail down there, and then they're released back to their legal guardian, and then the system moves them later. Now, if they were arrested here, we would take them straight to DYS in Fort Pierce, but they weren't.
So you mean to tell me that the juvenile that you arrested is already probably at home with his parents?
Yes, sir.
That's
frustrating.
That's disheartening.
And that's why they're so brazen. That's why they run around and do these crimes with impunity. Yes. It's very frustrating.
I can't believe that.
They need some ramifications.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
ramifications.
please.
So you're out $500. You're out your time.
Yeah.
And you would assume what? We've caught somebody now, and they're going to go in the court system. The judge is going to order them to
pay me back.
Restitution.
Yeah. Not happening.
The judge is going to order it, but he's never going to pay you. The way these indigent criminals operate is they go in there, they get their sentence, which a lot of times, if they're not juveniles, includes prison or jail time.
Right.
So they do their time. Then they go into the probationary status of their time.
Okay.
And part of probation is to pay restitution.
Okay.
But they don't do it. Nobody holds their feet to the fire. Nobody makes them pay the restitution. So at the end of probation, the whole thing is reduced to a civil judgment, meaning that you have to file a lawsuit against them, and they're going to come in and say,
And now
"I
it
have
costs
money."
me more money.
Exactly. It's a very frustrating proposition.
Can't the parents be held responsible because they're juveniles?
You would think so, but it's not that easy. No, it's really not that easy. If we can prove that they knew and that they allowed it, but it's almost impossible to prove that.
What's even more frustrating is you question what they're really learning from it then. Like maybe they're not taking it and making their situation better and learning from it when they don't get the ramification.
I'll tell you what they're learning. They're learning how to be professional criminals. And by the time they get to the age of accountability, which is 18,
right,
they're good at what they do and they know
Right.
what to and what not to do. So
Yeah,
they're
but once
educated criminals.
once they turn 18, it's a whole nother ball game.
It is a whole.
It's a whole nother ball game because it's not a slap on the wrist anymore. Go home to mama, and oh yeah, little Johnny's going to be a good little boy until he goes through the court system.
That's correct.
They're going to the big house.
But they're very educated in what they're doing at that point.
Yeah.
They spent 5-6 years being a criminal. I mean, they start young. These are kids out there running around.
It's so
very
disheartening.
frustrating. Yes,
it's frustrating to know this. You know, you feel like your privacy, as I mentioned to you when we talked on the phone quite a few times. I feel violated. I do. I mean, that's my domain. That's my vehicle. That's where I get in. That's my happy place.
And you should
You
feel
know.
violated. You
Yeah.
were violated.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was just, it took me a good 24 hours to really let this sink in. It emotionally, I was very distraught over the whole situation. And then my in-law had said to me in church on Sunday, he says, listen, if it makes you feel any better, I had some damage done to my vehicle and I have $1,000 deductible. So, but the thing that you have to be thankful for is you have your life. You know,
Correct.
you can fix the window, you can replace the door, you can replace anything that got stolen, but you can't replace a life.
That's correct.
And that's the way I had to look at it.
And you're looking at it the right way, but we're justice oriented. We want justice. I
Yeah.
want justice for you. You want justice for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating when it doesn't come full circle quite like we want it to.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're still working on this little crew. It was more than one person. Of course, we talked, and you know
Yeah,
that more
right.
than one person. They committed more than one burglary.
Right.
The good and the bad is they continue to commit crime, and now we know who they are.
Right.
And shame on them.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are they going to have to go through the Martin County court system?
They will. Yes.
Will I be allowed as a victim to be able to, you said they admitted to the crime.
They
correct?
admitted to
the burglary.
They admit to
Or I'm sorry, you caught them in the vehicle. Yes, that's what it was.
They
Yes.
admit to what we can prove.
Okay.
They're not admitting to your burglary. We know they did it.
Right.
They're not admitting to the ones in St. Lucie County. We know they did it.
Okay.
But they only admitted to your burglaries right now.
Okay.
But given a little bit of time, they've only been charged. I'm sorry. Let me back up. They only admitted to the burglaries next door. They did
Okay.
not admit to yours.
Okay.
So they've been charged with next door.
But we know that they did
We
my
do.
vehicle.
Right.
It's all the cards are lined up properly.
That's correct.
It's now getting them to admit, yeah, all right, we broke the guy's car.
That's correct. So right now you're a victim, but they haven't been charged with your crime. So right now you're not going to get the opportunity to speak in court or write a victim's letter or any of that yet.
Okay.
But give it a little time.
Okay.
This is new.
Okay.
We just
Well, it's
started.
only a couple days old. It
It
just
is.
happened Friday.
Yes.
So let's just say if it gets to that point where, okay, yeah, they confess they did the damage. You mentioned the part about writing a victim's letter and being able to go to court.
Correct.
I'll be able to do that. Will I be able to speak my piece in court?
It depends on whether they do a plea deal or not.
Okay.
And you should have a say in whether or not what the plea deal is.
Right.
So as a victim, the state attorney's victim advocate should reach out to you
Okay.
and say, hey, we've arrested these people. This is what we're considering as far as punishment. Now, juveniles are a little different because they're more bound. They can't give them prison time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we're considering. What are your thoughts? If they plea the case out, Normally, you can do both. You can show up in court in person,
Okay.
and say your piece. But a lot of people don't do that because they already know what the end result's going to be. So what they say is not going to matter, other than the satisfaction of you looking at them knuckleheads in the eyeball.
And that's what I want.
Exactly.
That's what I want. I want that satisfaction, and I want them to know that I'm just not your average Joe.
Exactly.
That you can break into my car. I want them to know that they're going to see it in my eyes.
They got the wrong guy.
Oh, they got the wrong guy. They messed with the wrong guy. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, they did.
Because you know who I got. That's my daughter. We talk about my daughter all the time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Kaya.
No, well, Kaya too. I'll just bring Kaya with me to work one day, and if I, catch them in the act, then I could just accidentally she comes off the leash and boom, whatever.
Oh.
So anyway, no, I got to be careful. I can't do anything illegal. I have to stay within the eyes of the law. That's the way it needs. We have to let justice prevail. That's why we have the justice system. Wow, that's amazing. Well, there you have it, Bonnie. Now you know the whole enchilada story.
Yeah.
But it's not over yet. So
no.
the good news is there's more to come.
Yeah. In the words of Frank Sinatra, the best is yet to come.
The best is.
The best is
And
yet
it
to
had
come.
been a mystery, and now we know, and it's good to know and get to the bottom of things.
Yeah, definitely for sure, without a doubt. Major John Budensiek, our very special guest in this segment. John, I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you so much for coming in your busy time.
Enjoyed it. Thank you all.
No problem. It's now time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold opening up at $1,814.80 an ounce. Silver opening up at $26.23 an ounce. That's Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. $8:24 is the time on the Get Up and Go Show. It's time for news brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield, helping families take control of their health for more than 75 years. Bonnie's at the news desk with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Speculation about a third COVID-19 vaccine booster shot is increasing as large numbers of people refuse the vaccine and variants continue to rise. WPTV's Matt Cessny has more.
I'm Matt Cessny in West Palm Beach. Not enough people being vaccinated and a rise in COVID variants is sparking on more talk about a third COVID booster shot. In his Wellington medical office, Dr. Larry Bush has COVID vaccines ready and waiting.
Just in the last month, Delta has now become the predominant virus in the United States of America.
Yet the resistance of many to vaccinate and the rise of new variants is now creating concern about how well those shots can offer protection.
The question is going to be, how long do the vaccines protect you? In other words, how long is the immunity that they produce, which is very good as far as we know.
Pfizer is now working to provide a booster shot, supposedly to counter any variants and provide more long-term COVID immunity. The doctor at the forefront of the public effort to fight COVID is cautious.
That right now, given the data and the information we have, we do not need to give people a third shot, a boost.
One Palm Beach County commissioner told me it's too early to think about how a COVID booster shot may be given to the public. The initial rollout of vaccines were left to the counties to decide. In Palm Beach County, there were mass vaccination sites and a reservation system at public supermarkets that proved to be frustrating in its first few weeks. Many health experts say the best solution would likely be allowing people to get the shot in their own doctor's offices.
The major reason why people in this country do get a vaccine is by encouragement of their healthcare provider.
At this point, it's still too early to say how a COVID booster shot would be made available to the public. But if it is anything like the first 2 vaccine shots, then that decision would be left up to state health officials. In West Palm Beach, Matt Cesny, WPTV, News Channel 5.
COVID-19 is making a big comeback in the Orlando area. Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings with the latest numbers.
Our 14-day rolling positivity rate, unfortunately, has increased dramatically for the past 2 weeks. Today it is at 7.78%, so nearly 8%.
Demings says that almost double what it was 2 weeks ago, and he's recommending that all Orange County residents, both vaccinated and unvaccinated, consider wearing a mask indoors in crowded environments. More families are getting closure after South Florida's condo collapse. 4 victims were recovered yesterday, raising the death toll to 94. That leaves 22 people still missing. Lastly, Carnival Cruise Line is adding requirements for unvaccinated passengers sailing out of Florida. The company is that non-vax travelers have to pay for COVID-19 testing and travel insurance. The Phoenix Suns have a 2-1 game lead over the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals, and get ready for Game 4 set to play tomorrow night in Milwaukee. Tip-off at 9 p.m. News time is 8:26. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$8:29 right now on the Get Up and Go show, the Tuesday morning edition with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
Well, we're not finding any accidents to report. It's been fine on our highways, pleasant on a Tuesday morning. Major highways, US 1 included for Martin and St. Lucie County. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 81, partly cloudy here in Stewart, and it's 79 degrees in Port St. Lucie. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday. Today's forecast. Another active day out there with scattered numerous showers and thunderstorms, some heavy rainfall potential, but the severe aspect is being toned down as that upper low pulls to the north. On Wednesday, morning showers and storms, then clearing with less rain chances going into the end of the week. High temperatures stay into the upper 80s, lows into the upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist James Wieland on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:33 on the Get Up and Go show. And without further ado, here's Randy Siegel with the Space Report. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning to you, sir. Well, it was back on this date in history in 1995 that NASA, using the Space Shuttle missions STS-70, placed into orbit a tracking and data relay satellite, something that's being in use today and will be used in the future in order to send signals back from space. On board the International Space Station, Megan MacArthur started her day off by swapping out oxygen and fuel bottles inside the combustion integration rack. This allows them to have fuel and flames and soot and see how they react in a microgravity situation. They also pointed a camera inside the Harmony module to support the EarthCam student-controlled experiment. So students are controlling an experiment from Earth on the International Space Station. MacArthur then joined Mark Vanderhee and Thomas Pasqua as they took turns running operations for the InSpace 4 study throughout the day. That's a physics experiment that investigates ways to harness nanoparticles to fabricate new and advanced materials. Pasqua then joined Akihiro Hoshide wearing virtual reality goggles and clicking to track a time experiment. The study observes how living in space affects an astronaut's cognitive performance and perception of time. The two Russians on board, Oleg Novitsky and Peter Dubrov, spent the day in various ways. Novitsky worked on the inside condition of the Pirs docking compartment ahead of its undocking and disposal later this month. And then Peter Dubrov concentrated on cargo transfer, inventory updates inside the ISS Progress 78 resupply ship. They also note that the Chinese on board their station did a lot of work for them in preparation for additional modules being added in the not-too-distant future. The Chinese also received back from their Chang'e 5 lunar mission rice seeds, and they planted those rice seeds. And thus far, they got their first crop from seeds that were brought around the moon and back. They want to see the effects of weightlessness on the seeds. When you talk about money, today is a big day for NASA because the Congress is considering just how much money they're going to give NASA into the future. Currently, it appears that NASA's budget is going to be better than they thought. The Commerce, Justice, and Science Subcommittee reported a spending bill that provides $25.04 billion for NASA in fiscal year 2022. That would be a 7.6% higher than what NASA received in 2021, but just 1% above the administration's request for $24.8 billion that they released in May. The additional monies would be used for the Space Launch System, which currently has been undergoing stress and changes to determine exactly when they'll fly and allow us to go back to the moon. NASA would like to have two versions of that vehicle. They want to have one that would be a manned version and a second one that would be a cargo version, allowing them to fly a lot of cargo up to the moon. But let's walk before we start to run. A Las Vegas man purchased a ticket to fly on Virgin Galactic. That was back in 2004. That's when Ken Baxter purchased a ticket to fly on the Virgin Galactic spaceship. In 2012, he checked in with Baxter when Virgin Galactic was initially granted an experimental launch permit. Now he hopes to fly in the first group of paying customers that will go to the station, go to Branson's flight and fly weightless. Virgin Galactic has also gotten ready to fly, and they'll do it with a charitable way as well. Virgin Galactic will be sending people into space if they pay money, and that money will go to charity. Richard Branson is very much concerned about how the monies are spent, and he will work long and hard to bring the cost down if possible. On an interesting note, Elon Musk was at the launch that took place the other day for Richard Branson. It turns out that they were very good friends, and they even had breakfast together that morning. So I would not be too surprised that when Elon Musk starts flying commercial customers, that we possibly could see Richard Branson flying on one of those vehicles. The one thing that I don't think you'll see is Jeff Bezos flying on one of the launches, because Bezos and Musk are not exactly the best of friends. Russian recruits in their new astronaut cadre have started their training, and several of them have some interesting backgrounds, not only in engineering, but they also were a submariner. Yep, it turns out that this will be the first astronaut class that will have submariners in it. It's interesting because the submariner has learned how to work in a confined space and in an isolated space, which gives them a leg up as they get ready for actual space training. The United Arab Emirates has an astronaut, Sultan Al Nayati, who is competing for a flight into space. He is training with NASA and is using a T-38 Talon, which is a supersonic jet, to work on experiments and also to feel what it's like as acceleration takes place on the human body, as well as potentially flying some missions that will allow him to be weightless for a short amount of time. I was able to fly on an L-39, which is similar to that, and it's a small plane, but boy, can it give you a lot of experience. The Talon can climb from sea level to almost 30,000 feet within 1 minute. Space IL, a nonprofit Israeli company, is initiating a 2-year mission to go to the moon. It has secured $70 million in funding to make a second attempt at a lunar landing. SL says that new pledges mean that it has raised almost all of the $100 million it estimates it needs for a flight to meet the 2024 target date. The funding comes a lot from South African-Israeli billionaire Morris Khan, who bankrolled the first mission to take place. That mission ended in failure as the rocket impacted the moon as opposed to doing the job it was originally supposed to, having an orbiter and a lander. China on Mars has the rover that has currently moved more than 1,312 feet on the surface of the planet. The distance between Earth and Mars currently is 230,342,300 miles away. So anything that they're controlling on Mars takes about 15 minutes. So when you're doing something on Earth, sending signals to Mars and getting them back, you don't know what actually took place for 15 minutes after you sent all the signals to the instruments on the planet. NASA's Ingenuity spacecraft, which is on Mars, continues to do a lot of work. The Ingenuity Mars helicopter continues to fly and continues to make inroads in showing the Perseverance rover the best way to travel on the red planet. Tomorrow, we're going to tell you more about Elon Musk and his plant in McGregor, Texas, as well as a super heavy booster they're working with. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's Randy Siegel with the Space Report. He's on the program each and every weekday at this time. Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by with some delectable treats for a Tuesday lunch break.
And you know, I just love potatoes too, Evan. And Chef Mark at Ellie's Deli is preparing up a loaded stuffed potato and side salad. This is amazing. Your loaded stuffed potato comes with sour cream and bacon, cheddar cheese, of course, and some onion strings. And it's served with a side salad, maybe a side item of your choice, or with a dressing of your choice. Get fresh jumbo wraps, signature sandwiches at Ellie's Deli, and have them cater your next event. It'll be fine. They cater an office party to a barbecue or even a wedding, you name it. Call Ellie's Deli to find out more details. And Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart now with their patio back open. Plus, they're at 50% dining inside with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well, like Oreo pie. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. Located 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado in Stuart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
8:44, the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. For the best deals in town on any type of precious metals, it's always St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Let them know that Evan and Bonnie sent you down there, okay? Let's go to the news desk. Here's Bonnie.
Good morning once again. Nearly 24 people have now been arrested in connection with the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse last week. Investigators said one of the masterminds behind the attack is a Haitian doctor living in South Florida. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has more.
On the ground in Haiti, cars are on fire, and there's more unrest days after President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated inside his home. Investigators say the killers posed as DEA agents, and at least 29 people were involved, including 18 Colombians and 3 Haitian Americans with ties to Florida. 63-year-old Christian Emmanuel Sanin is accused of being one of the ringleaders. Haiti's police chief says Sanin flew to Haiti in June on a private plane with political objectives. The chief says he was working with a private firm to recruit Colombian mercenaries, and Sanin was the first person the attackers called after the president was shot last week. Investigators also say 35-year-old James Salages and 55-year-old Joseph Vincent, both from South Florida, have also been arrested. A Haitian judge involved in the investigation says the 2 Haitian Americans worked only as translators and were not in the room when Moïse was assassinated.
He never get in trouble with nobody. He's a good guy.
Salage's relative surprised by his alleged involvement. According to the Palm Beach Post, Salages worked for the Carlisle Palm Beach, spending 2 years as the plant operations director for the assisted living facility in Lantana before resigning this past spring. Tonight, FBI and Homeland Security officials are in Haiti helping investigate. The police chief says officers also found a hat with the DEA logo on it, gun parts, and bullets inside Sanin's home. The president's wife, who was also shot in the attack, is still hospitalized in Miami. Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
City leaders in Port St. Lucie are pleading with Waste Pro, the city's garbage service, to find a solution to long-standing trash in residential areas. WPTV's Derek Lowe has this story.
A lack of workers is translating to more trash not picked up.
Right now, we just don't have enough drivers.
In Port St. Lucie, city leaders are now calling for a special meeting with Waste Pro to address the pile of more than 7,000 complaints from residents.
We have our contract, and people expect for what they're paying to have the garbage picked up.
When it comes to garbage, though, the problems are not entirely new. Waste Pro Senior Vice President Keith Bonanziak says for the last 5 months, his company has employed 6 subcontractor trucks to help service the city. Still, though, the problem remains.
We have actually had to take drivers and couple them up as a team because you can't send one truck out without a helper on the back.
Bonanziak says his company has hired a full-time recruiter to help combat the shortage, along with sign-on and retention bonuses for employees. City leaders say it could be months before the service returns to normal.
I need something tangible. I need a plan. I need an ordinance. I need something tangible.
In Port St. Lucie, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
A number of small and rural communities in Florida have an opportunity to get their hands on money for improvements. Governor Ron DeSantis is announcing that more than $29 million is being made available in block grant funding.
Communities, both on the municipal and county level, identify some infrastructure needs. Obviously, they have to put up some money too, and then we could do it and hopefully be able to get a lot of projects done.
DeSantis believes the projects can also stimulate job growth. More families are getting closure after South Florida's condo collapse. 4 victims were recovered yesterday, raising the death toll to 94. That leaves 22 people still missing. The Florida Department of Health is warning people in Pinellas County of a red tide bloom. Health officials are saying that people with respiratory problems should avoid going to the beaches. Lastly, there's a new addition at Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom. The theme park says a Nile hippo calf was born yesterday. The Washington football team, which is choosing a new nickname and logo that depart from any linkage to Native American imagery, will not consider Warriors as an option. Team president Jason Wright wrote Monday. Wright made the announcement in his weekly brief posted on the team's website. Our news time is 8:49, and we'll have weather and traffic together for you next.
$8:50 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
Here on the Treasure Coast this morning, Evan, not finding any accidents to report. Major highways have been clear throughout this morning. US 1 has been riding fine quite nicely. There aren't any tie-ups. Drive safely. There's your latest look at traffic. 81 in Palm City this morning. In Churchill, Manitoba, Canada, partly cloudy and 56. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Happy Tuesday. Today's forecast. Another active day out there with scattered numerous showers and thunderstorms, some heavy rainfall potential, but the severe aspect is being toned down as that upper low pulls to the north. On Wednesday, morning showers and storms, then clearing with less rain chances going into the end of the week. High temperatures stay into the upper 80s, lows into the upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist James Wheeland on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
Boy, and just like that, 3 hours of radio, done. That was incredible.
Yeah, and I think it even went by a little bit more quickly this morning when Major Budenseek came in
That
and
just
graced us
flew
with
by.
his presence.
Man, that segment just flew by. Like, it was crazy.
He was full of information, about events going on,
Mhm.
and we appreciate him coming in.
Wow. So, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm just a little dumbfounded here just because of I've got like 9,000 things going at one time. So, do you have any fun facts for me this morning?
Oh, yeah.
I don't mean to just throw something at you like that.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
I think
You always have some stuff.
I think the funnest. Oh, here's a fun one. I have two on one on pretzels and one on Pop Tarts.
All right. You know what? Let's do the Pop-Tart since I'm eating my Pop-Tart right now. Yeah. All right. So,
Okay.
all right, let's do the Pop-Tart one. All right, go ahead.
I didn't realize you were eating. I
Yeah,
thought you
see,
had.
look, there it is.
It's a true Pop Tart.
Yeah, there it is right there.
So as Evan
My
is-
stomach's feeling a little better, so I'm putting some digestive stuff into my tummy.
Is that a chocolatey Pop Tart?
It's a cookies and cream Pop-Tart.
No, you're making everybody jealous.
You want a piece?
No, thanks.
You sure? You
No.
can break off a piece. I didn't touch this one yet.
No, that's all right. I'm not
Positive.
I'm not craving anything
Okay.
this morning,
All right.
surprisingly, but I will be in a while.
I know what you're craving, though. I do know one thing you're craving.
What's that?
That's Gary. You're always craving Gary.
And some
And he's
Hokkaido
always
for
craving
dinner
you.
tonight.
Yes.
He's taking us out to dinner, I think,
That's
tonight
awesome.
to Hokkaido.
That's awesome. My favorite place.
But anyway, Pop Tarts, their sales went up every year from 1982 to 2014. So between all those years, the sales of Pop Tarts went up, and it's possible they're still going up. That's just the last time Kellogg's announced any Pop Tart stats. On a potentially related note, local Walmarts do stock up on Pop Tarts before storms.
Very nice. We have a call real quick. Let's get to the call. Hi, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir.
Whoa, we haven't heard from this guy in forever.
Yeah,
Good
like
morning,
hi.
Almighty Goddess of Radio.
Hello, Bentley.
Wow, where have you boy, it figures you wait till the last minute to call in. Where have you been?
Well, I've been busy, sir. I just need to know what time you need me to bring over the back massager for you.
The back massager?
You're getting
Yes,
a back
sir.
massage today?
I didn't know I was getting a back massage. Okay, this is all new to
Miss
me.
Miss Rachel told me to deliver the back massager this afternoon to you. I just wanted to know what time, sir.
Okay. That would be 1,430 hours.
So about 2:30.
Oh, he knows military time,
He
Bonnie.
did. I'm really impressed.
That's impressive. Okay.
Well, my father was General Bentley, sir.
Oh, General Bentley. Okay.
Yes, 5
Okay.
stars, sir.
Thank
He
him
was
for
the
his
Supreme
service.
Allied Commander for the NATO forces. Yes, sir.
Well, thank you. Thank him for his service, please. If you would.
Absolutely,
If
sir.
you would do that. Definitely so. So anyway, so what have you been up to? My gosh, we're like at the end of the show. I haven't heard from you in forever and a day.
Well, I'm just working, sir. I'm doing things for you, doing things for the station, and I know I have to drive Miss Bonnie in the limo coming up in October for her vacation.
Oh, yes, that's right. You have to take her to the airport here in Gary to the airport.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, make sure and get the limo. Which limo are you going to be driving them in?
It'll be the Lincoln Continental, sir.
Oh, Bonnie.
And we'll give you a lovely tip.
Yeah, the tip of the day is to stay out of trouble. That's
Yes,
the
yes,
lovely
sir.
tip. Yes, for sure.
Oh, and that one more thing on pretzels. 80% of the pretzels in the U.S. are made in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Is where most
Interesting
of
stat.
the pretzels come from.
Too much flavor, too much salt for me.
There you go. All right, Bentley, thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you later. Folks, that's a wrap for us. We're out of here. Remember, if you have good values on the inside, you won't look for validation on the outside.
Yeah, and we do have Dr. Tread coming in next.
Slim Body Laser.
Yes.
Going to tell you how to get skinny with laser treatment.
I wonder if pretzels are okay to eat once in a while. Thumbs up from
Thumbs
Dr.
up on
Tread.
pretzels.
Okay.
All right, very good. Very good.
A safe item.
Folks, we'll talk to you in about 21 hours right here at WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Bye-bye for now.